Hi, welcome to my channel, Ruby Neck Crochet Tejido. Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet this beautiful cowl or neck warmer. Next time I'm going to be teaching you how to make the hat for the matching set with one of my favorite stitches. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you're receiving a Spanish video and you want to see the video in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. Then you will find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. And at the end of each video, I leave a playlist with all my English tutorials. To make this cowl, I'm gonna use Caron tea cakes. It's super bulky 6, and they recommend an 8mm crochet hook or 8mm netting needle. I'm gonna use a 9mm or M. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool, 240 grams or 8.5 ounces or 186 meters. And the color is English breakfast. I think this is a porridge breakfast because it's a little in the gloomy side. So the hook is 9mm or M, and you're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors. To do this cowl, I'm gonna use a stitch, my star anise stitch that I've done many times before. It's really pretty and it's easy. It's multiple of 2 plus 1. I already have some other projects done with this stitch. I did many years ago, in the beginning of my channel, a circular scarf or infinite scarf, and it was done in a dark purple that you hardly can see the stitch. I hope with this one it will be a little bit easier. I did a scooty as well, a pink one, really nice. And I did for the purple scarf, I did the matching hat, but since it's a color you hardly can see, I hope with this one you can see better, and I may do a set with the hat for this one. The stitch is multiple of 2 plus 1. So for mine, since the yarn is thick, I'm gonna do 54 plus 1, so that will be 55. And if you're using a thinner yarn, you can double them up, do 2 strands at a time, and you can do the stitch with fewer chains. If you're using a medium 4 and you don't want to double them up, you can do that as well. You will have to do more chain. As long as multiple 2 plus 1, you will be fine. So for mine, I'm gonna do 55, 54 plus 1, 55. So it will be not that a huge thing. So then the yarn is nice and thick. It will be a very easy and fast project to do. So I'll meet you here when I have my 55 chains. Here I have my 55 stitches. Now we're gonna do a circle, and to make sure that the circle is nice and flat, that it's not twisted or chain, what I'm gonna do in here, I'm gonna make sure that it's not twisted, you see, and then I'm gonna come here to the first chain and I'm gonna do a slip stitch. These don't look that big, but remember I'm working with very thick yarn, so this will grow a little bit, and it's big enough for a cowl for here for Canada. In Canada the weather is really cold and you don't want a gapping open cowl that all the cold will go inside, okay, under your shin. So now we're gonna start with row 1. We're gonna start with a chain 3. This is 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna do a yarn over like you're gonna do a double crochet. You're gonna pass through the same space where you did the yarn over, so that loop and the chain under, you're gonna pass through those two. That way it's nice and straight, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Like you're gonna do a double crochet, but you don't gonna do a double crochet, you're gonna do it again a yarn over. You're gonna skip a chain space and go to the next one, pass your hook through and pull your yarn out, and you have 5 loops on your hook, and you're going to close those 5 loops, and now you're going to chain 1, and that's the stitch that we're going to do. Again, yarn over, you have 2 loops on your hook, you're going to go to the same space where you did the last stitch, and you're going to pass your yarn through. You have 3 loops, yarn over again, you're going to skip 1 chain space and go to the next one, and you're going to pass your yarn through. You have 5 loops, and you're going to close those 5 loops and chain 1. Again, yarn over, you have 2 loops on your hook, you're going to go to the same chain space where you did the last stitch, pass your hook, you have 3 loops now on your hook, you're going to do a yarn over again, you're going to skip 1 chain space and go to the next one, and pass your yarn through. You have 5 loops, and you're going to close those 5 loops and chain 1. The chain 1 that we're doing in the top is the chain 1 space that we're skipping in between the stitches. That way it will be nice and straight. Again, yarn over, you have 2 loops, you're going to come here to the same chain space that you did the last stitch, you're going to pass through there, you have 3 loops, yarn over, you have 4, skip 1 chain space and go to the next one, pass your hook through, pull your yarn, you have 5 loops, and you're going to close those 5 loops, and then you're going to chain 1, and like that you're going to continue all the way around, and I'll show you how you're going to finish each row around. I will show you one more time. You're going to do a yarn over, you're going to come here to the same chain space where you did the last stitch, you're going to pass your hook through, you have 3, you're going to do yarn over, skip 1 chain space and go to the next one, you're going to pass through, you have 5 loops on your hook, you're going to close these 5, and by closing this 5 I mean you have to close them in the top like this, and then you're going to chain 1. So when you close the top, that don't count as a stitch or anything, just closing the stitches, and then you chain 1. And again you do a yarn over, you come to the same space, pass your hook, you have 3, yarn over, skip 1, go to the next one, you have 5, and you're going to close those 5. You see this step is closing the 5, and then you chain 1, and like that you're going to continue all the way around until the last stitch that I will show you how you're going to close the end. But you see, if you are doing exactly as I showing you, these don't going to be wavy or anything, going to be nice and straight. But you always have to keep track of that chain space that you do only 1, not 2, okay? So one more time, yarn over, pass it through here, you have 3, yarn over, skip 1 chain space and go to the next one. You have 5 loops, you're going to close those 5 loops, and you see I'm closing them in the top, and that don't count as a stitch. Now you chain 1. I wanted to recommend to pay attention to the first round, because it's easy to skip that chain space, because I did it twice. I will start watching a video and I closed the stitch in the top, and then I forgot to do the chain space, so I had to remove those few stitches that I have done and do it again, because I missed the chain space in between the stitch. I'm gonna finish the last stitch. I'm gonna close the 5 here, but I don't gonna do a chain space because I'm gonna do a slip stitch in the second chain. So we have that extra chain in here from the third chain that we did. We did 3 chain, so you will have that space in here. So you're gonna come here and that second chain space, and you're gonna do slip stitch, and you have the separation of that chain there. Again, you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over. You're gonna come here to the top of those 5 that you close, the first 5 in that space. You're gonna pass it through. You have 3, yarn over. You're gonna come to the top of the second one where you close those 5 stitches. You have 5, and you're gonna close those 5. You see, when I'm closing the 5, I'm creating a stitch in the top. That's where you're gonna work the next row. So you're gonna chain 1, again yarn over. You're gonna go to the same space where you did the last stitch, pass it through. You have 3, yarn over. You go to the next one and the top of this 5, pass it through. You have 5. You're gonna close those 5, chain 1. Again, you're gonna start where you finish that stitch, like that, yarn over. You have 4, go to the next stitch in the top of those 5. You have 5. You're gonna close those 5, and each time you're closing your 5 in the top, you see you're creating the place where you're gonna work next row. You're gonna chain 1, and you're gonna continue, and don't worry that this is falling here, because when we finish next round, you're gonna do a slip stitch in here, and that chain space will make it straight. Because if we don't do that, we will be increasing and start to get wavy, or this line that's supposed to be straight, it will be sideways like this. So I'll show you one more time. Yarn over. You're gonna come here to the same space where you did the last stitch, and top of this 5 from the row before. You pass your hook. You have 3. Yarn over. Again, to the next stitch you have 5. You're gonna close those 5 and chain 1. I will show you again. Yarn over. You come on top of this 5 from the row before, where you did the last stitch. You pass it through. You see? Yarn over. You go to the next one. And this yarn have a knot in here. Not a really nice one. Let me cut it. Where is my scissors? I don't have my scissors handy here. Let me grab these ones. I have a old pair of scissors here for my craft. Remove some of these and shave it a little bit. And that came from the factory like that. So you have 3, yarn over, go to the next one, and you're gonna close those 5. And you don't want to see it when I close in here. It's in there somewhere. Chain 1, again, go to the same space. You have 3, yarn over, go to the next 5 space in the top, pass your yarn through. You have 5, and you're gonna close those 5. So I will meet you here at the end of this round, okay? So it's I found that it's a very easy stitch to do and look really pretty. I'm gonna finish here the last one. So a yarn over, I'm gonna pass through here. I have 3 yarn over, go to the last one, and here you have 5. You're gonna close those 5, chain 1. But if we go here and the second one and we do the slip stitch, this start to pull, and you see you start to get a bubble there. So what you do is, in the same space that you did the last leg, you're gonna pass yarn over, pass your yarn through, and you're gonna do a half double crochet. You see, you're gonna pass through those, you're gonna close it, and then you're gonna go to the second chain and here, and you're gonna do your slip stitch, and this will be the 2 row repetition that you're gonna do over and over. You see, and it's nice and straight, no wobbly or anything. So we're gonna do the repetition of round 1. So again, you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over. So you're gonna do the first stitch coming inside of this slip stitch and here. So you pass it through that one, and the chain underneath. You pass through those 2. You have 3, yarn over. Now you go on top of the first stitch in here. You know those 5, on top of those 5, you pass it through. You have 5 loops. You're gonna close those 5 loops, and you're gonna chain 1. And you see, you are recreating exactly the same as row 1. You do it here in round 3 or row 3. So again, you pass your yarn through the last stitch that you did in here on top of this 5, and I hope you guys can see really well what I'm doing. You have 3, yarn over, you come here all the way to the top of this 5 in here, you're going to pass it through. You have 5, you're going to close those 5, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to continue with the repetition. You see, this one here is nice and straight from the round before. So I will show you again. So one more time, yarn over, you're going to come here to the same space that you did the last stitch on top of this 5 from the round before. You have 3, yarn over, you come in here, you're going to pass it through. You have 5, you're going to close those 5, and you see I'm creating, when you close the 5, you're creating the space where you're going to work next round, and then you chain 1 and do that again. And like that, you're going to continue all the way around, and you will have a nice and straight work. I'm gonna work in the last stitch, and the last stitch is gonna be in between these 5 and the half double crochet that we did here, because if you look at the first stitch, this little leg is exactly in the same position on top of this one. You see, straight up. So yarn over, you go to that space at the 5, yarn over, you're gonna on top of this half double crochet, you're gonna pass it through. You have 5, you're gonna close those 5, and you don't gonna do the chain space for separation. You're just gonna go 1, and in the second one you're gonna do your slip stitch. And as you look at your work, it's nice and straight. These are on top of each other, they are not going sideways, and this is not in wave. Because if you look at here, this stitch, this little leg is in here, you see, on top of that one, that stitch. You see, that's where they are, on top of each other, with one round in between. So now I'm going to show you how to do the repetition of round 2 or row 2. And you're going to do those repetitions over and over until you have the desired length. Again, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. You're going to come on top of these 5 here. You're going to pass your hook. You have 3. Yarn over. You're going to go into the next 5 on top. You're going to pass your hook. You have 5. You're going to close those 5. And you're going to chain 1. And if you look at here, this again is exactly the same as round 2. This is a little sideways, but once you finish the round, it will be nice and straight like this one. You see, they will be straight here and the beginning and end. And you hardly will see the beginning and end of the round. So again, yarn over, you come in here to the chain 5 space. And really this is the same stitch over and over. The only difference is the beginning and end of those 2 rounds. So in one, you start with the stitch exactly in the same space as the chain 3, and the next one is inside the chain 5 space, the next 2 chain 5 space. So and that's the only difference, because the stitches stay exactly the same. You do the same over and over, working on top of those 5 that you closed from the round before. You create 5 more in between these 5. So you're going to continue. I will meet you here to finish this round. That is the repetition of round 2, and then you can continue until you have the desired length. And if you look, this is nice and it's straight in here. I'm going to finish here. I have only this one and this one left, so I'm going to pass through this one. I have 3, go to the last one. I have 5. I'm going to close those 5, close it, chain 1, and again if I come in here, this will create a bubble. It will start to shrink, so we have to do just one little leg in here. So you're going to do a yarn over, you're going to pass it through. You have 3, you're going to close those 3 like a half double crochet, and then you're not going to chain 1, just you're going to count 1, and in the second chain you're going to do your slip stitch, and it's nice and it's straight in here, and like I mentioned, it's no fluttering or anything. It's nice and straight. So this is a repetition that I'm going to do over and over until I have my desired length. I'm going to let you know how many rounds, and I will measure as well, that way just in case your yarn is a smaller yarn and a smaller hook and you want to do the same size as mine. So for the measurement of this, the best way for me to measure and give you just a little measurement is, I'm gonna fold my in 26 inches. So around 26 inches is what your chain will measure to give you the circumference the same as mine. You see, from 0 to 26, I put it here, and it's pretty much the same. So you make sure that when you do your chain is 26 inches long or 66 centimeters, and you'll be fine. It will be the same width as mine, even if you're using a smaller, but you will have to do more chain, and you have to make sure that it is multiple of 2 plus 1. So now I will show you a way to slow down the speed of the video if you think that I'm going too fast and you want to see this again in a lower speed. That way you pay attention to what I'm doing. So I will show you that in my computer. Here I have my laptop, and this video that I have here is the one that I did with the Scooty, with the scarf with the hood, with this stitch. So to show you how you're going to change the speed of the video, maybe some of you already know this, but maybe some other don't know. You're going to come here to the setting button. Here, this look like a little, here, the setting. You go to the setting, and here is the speed. I have my normal speed. So you click on speed, and if you click the lower numbers, it will fast forward the video. It will be faster, and as you go up, it will slow down the video. So let me show you. And I'm sorry that I'm doing this in the middle of the recording, but I just wanted to show you, just in case you want to slow down any of the videos. Here I have the length that I want for mine, and I did 15 rounds, and this is the straight seam. And here I look a little bit different because it's where we do the stitch, the beginning and the end. But I look fine like this. You can move it around and lift these ones up, and they will take the form. You see? You don't see only this end here. You just have to pull them a little bit, the stitch, to loosen them up on the top. Okay, so this measure those 15 round, 11 inches or 28 centimeters. So on the front it look like this, and this will be the top. That's where I start with my chains, and here is the end. So it will be like this. And then here, when you go to lose this tail, I recommend to grab this slip stitch that you did here with this tail and sew it together with the one under. That way you don't see the separation in here. Not that matter, because that's gonna be in the top, bunch up, and the back of your head. So I'm gonna lose my tails, and I will show you the end result. But this is a beautiful, beautiful stitch. So I removed the stitch, the last slip stitch that I did in here to do a different finish. That way it's nice and even. So I have the tail already ready here, and that is the stitch that I closed this 5 in the top. So I'm gonna pass the strand right through to close those 5. Now with the tapestry needle, what we're gonna do is you have 1, 2, and in the top where the third one is, you're gonna go under the 2 strand like that, leaving 1 in the back. You're gonna pass it right through, and then you're gonna come here inside that loop, and you just created that missing stitch in here, and you don't have that stitch over. You can do this finish with anything that you are doing crochet. When you finish, you can do this finish and it will be nice and even. You don't see in here that where was that you start or ended this round. Okay, so now you're gonna lose the tail in the inside, and then you're done your piece, and I'm ready to do the hat in the next video. This is what I have left from that ball of yarn, 59 grams. So I want to do a hat like I mentioned, so I don't know if these 59 grams will be enough, but I'm glad I bought 2 of these when I bought the yarn. I always like to buy 2 just in case I don't have enough from one project. I have with one ball, I have the other one, because sometimes you buy one and go back to the store and they don't have any more. I went to see if they have more of this color, couldn't find it when I went. So I will have enough here for my other hat. The only thing that I think gonna be just one color, because if I grab the yarn from the center, it will be the same color as this. If I grab the yarn from the outside, it's almost like this as well. So let's see what I do. So now I will put this in my mannequin and I will show you the end result. Well, this is the end result, and look how gorgeous this cowl look. And next week we're going to be making the hat for the set, and it look amazing together. And you don't have to use the carrot cake tea cake only. You can use other brands or any other yarn that is super bulky 6 or bulky 5. If you use a medium 4, they're gonna have a nice look to it, because it look like thick and warm and cozy at the same time. And remember, these have 20% wool and 80% acrylic, so it's a really nice yarn to work with. Well, this is the end result, and I absolutely love this beautiful cowl or neck warmer, and I hope you guys like it and give a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and if you make this beautiful design or any of my design and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Neck Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Neck Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family and in groups. That way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.